Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from Korman Productions. Today we're talking about the series Manifest, the NBC series. Specifically, we are talking about the pilot episode, a little bit about that, as well as the background drama that led to me talking about the series in the first place. The series description reads as follows. A commercial airliner suddenly reappears after being missing for 5 years. As those aboard reintegrate into society, they experience guiding voices and visions of events yet to occur, and soon a deeper mystery unfolds. The series was created by Jeff Rake, and he serves as the writer of all of the episodes of this series. The series stars a bunch of actors that I am pretty unfamiliar with, other than Josh Dallas, who also appeared in the series once upon a time. For this video, I have watched just the pilot episode. And that is what I will be talking about today, at least very loosely. Not like my typical scene-by-scene analysis that I do for the shows This Is Us, as well as Quantum Leap. I was put onto this series by my longtime friend Stacey Colon, who also introduced me to the show This Is Us. She recommended that I do a video on this series, and I didn't quite listen to her the last time that she told me to do that with the show This Is Us until almost 4 years later. So this time I am taking her advice a little bit sooner. Before going any further, I will tell you a couple of things. 1, this is not a spoiler-free video, though I will be going very light on the spoilers. If you haven't yet watched this episode or this series, I highly recommend that you at least go check out the pilot before coming and watching my video. Secondly, if you like this video and want to support the channel, you can like, share, comment, and please subscribe to my channel. If you've watched my videos in the past, you may have heard me say that I typically catch series late in the game. I don't usually watch during the first season. I usually pick it up 3, 4, 5 seasons after the show has started. Manifest is a perfect example of why. Genre shows of this type generally get treated terribly. Oftentimes are canceled after the first season, and we are left with a highly unsatisfying conclusion to the series. Such is the case, unfortunately, with Manifest, which has aired for 3 seasons, had a 6-season storyline, and was recently canceled by NBC on a cliffhanger. NBC has recently gone on to cancel many of its shows, with the exception of police procedurals and medical dramas. Presumably, that's because the older generation is the one that watches those shows live. Networks are still going by live ratings to determine whether they are going to keep series or not. And that's incredible to me for the reason that these days, that is just not how the general public is consuming media. We are no longer just watching live. There are numerous ways to watch television and movie programs, such as using Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, so on and so forth. For instance, the first 2 seasons of the show recently were uploaded on Netflix, and the show on Netflix has caught fire. In fact, it's been trending number 1 on the streaming service for a while now. There's been a huge fan campaign to keep the series going, and a desperate search by the creators to find some place for the show to continue, leading to the question, why hasn't Netflix picked up the show? Well, apparently there was some heavy considerations to do exactly that by the streaming service, but they have declined to do so, with no particular explanation as to why. None that I was able to find anyway. The series creators have said that they will in some way continue the story. Now, some television shows of its type have taken to telling their story in either comic book or book form after their series were canceled. Jeff Rake has said he's not really interested in doing that because he doesn't really feel like he has the time to do it. The other possibility is a crowdfunding campaign, such as using Kickstarter, which would be entirely fan-funded, as a means to perhaps produce a movie tying off the series. If they can't find a network or streaming platform to continue the series. Not sure which direction this is going to go, only time will tell. When the pilot starts, we are being introduced to the Stone family. Michaela Stone, along with Ben Stone, who are brother and sister. Ben is married to Grace Stone, and they have a couple of kids that are about the same age. And a boyfriend, Jared Vasquez, played by J.R. Ramirez, who recently asked Michaela to marry him. They are at the airport, and apparently their flight was overbooked. They are offered a chance to take a later flight. Half the family does so, while the other half stays behind. Michaela and Ben go, along with Ben's son, Cal Stone, who, for the record, has some kind of illness, cancer, I believe. During the flight, they experience some kind of turbulence that they come out of okay. And I actually like how they handle this part. They handle it in a very subtle fashion when the pilots are ready to land the plane. And it seems there's some confusion on the ground, though they won't say why. They are diverted to another airport and then asked to unload on the tarmac. The pilot is just taking this as an inconvenience, but as it turns out, there's more to it than that. Getting off the plane, they are confronted by a police force. There's some confusion among the passengers. Hey, what's going on here? What's the problem? And eventually a detective tells them that they have been missing for 5 years, and all have been declared dead. Dun dun dun. So right off the bat, we get a huge hook for this series. And from here, we can go anywhere. First, there's the mystery. What happened to the flight to make them miss 5 years? There's also the drama. The drama of having been missing in action for 5 years. Michaela comes back to find that her potential fiancé has moved on. Her mother has died. Cal, who was the same age as her sister, suddenly finds himself 5 years younger. She's a teenager now. There's a lot of potential drama here that, in my view, the pilot seems to speed through. It doesn't give these moments enough time to breathe. Probably because the show itself is trying to set up so much. It's trying to set up the mystery of the flight. What happened there? Why did they miss 5 years? Where have they been in that 5 years? And they do want to set up the drama, but they do so by speeding through it. As well as also adding another element where Michaela and Ben start hearing voices. In Michaela's case, the voice tells her to tell the bus driver to slow down, which prevents a kid from getting run over. Where I found myself the most intrigued is when the voice tells her and Ben to release a pair of dogs, or at least that seems to be what the message is telling her. But it turns out to be something else entirely. It's kind of like the voice from Field of Dreams that was telling Kevin Costner to do things while not being very specific as to exactly what. The voice in both cases leads a lot for interpretation, and I'm getting the feeling that that's at least a part of what is going to be a major part of the series, is trying to interpret what the voices are telling them to do. My question going forward in this series is, what's going to get the focus? Are we going to focus on the drama of trying to reintegrate back into your life when some things have majorly changed, such as a fiancé being married to someone else, or whatever is going on with Ben Stone's wife, which we don't yet determine in this episode, as well as how does the relationship change between siblings that are suddenly find themselves 5 years apart when once they were really close? Are we just going to focus on the mystery of what happened to the flight? And how much of a factor is the voices going to play within the series? It's really hard to judge a series by its pilot, mainly because the series premiere is usually about setting up all the elements that are going to play out during the course of the series. A lot of times, the pilot episode is one of the weaker entries of the series, and I'm getting the feeling that that's probably the case here as well. There's some good stuff here, plenty of intriguing mysteries, and plenty of drama to be explored, but the pilot speeds through a lot of it because it's just trying to set itself up for the stories that the creator is ultimately interested in telling. I will continue to watch, even though I know I am setting myself up to have an unsatisfactory conclusion. I guess the fact that I know that going in will lessen the sting a little bit, and perhaps doing so will make me a member of the cause to bring back the series in some form. I'm currently not promising to do any more videos on this series, though if I continue to watch and I see things worthy of comment, I will probably do so. But as it stands, I currently have a lot on my plate, such as the show This Is Us, and my Quantum Leap videos, and all the other things I have going on my plate. If you are interested in this show and are interested in trying to save it, there's an active signature campaign, which I will try to find a link for you to provide in the video's description, so that you too can join the cause. Anyway, that's all I got for you today for this video. If you like this video and want to support the channel, there are a number of ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join my Korman Productions Facebook page. You can buy me a copy, which is a new way to support content creators such as myself. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video, as well as subscribing to my channel. This is Dave from Korman Productions, signing off.